This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty and Mary Jane. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
We got some jokey leaders in a jokey town. I guess what a bunch of clowns. They're joking and they're jiving, but they're messing around. We got some jokey leaders, what a bunch of clowns.
Talking Heads with Naughty is brought to you by Airwick, distributed by Thompson Trading, Bahamas Botanicals, distributed by Bristol, Bahamas Out Island Promotion Board, Brass and Leather, Burger King, City of Hope, Kalina, John's Department Store, Collect, KFC, Lysol, distributed by Thompson Trading, Muffler World, Naughty Johnny's, Prince Masters, Sandcastle Bahamas, and Tropical Gyros.
Crime boy, ain't no jokes out here. The parliament is a circus. Watch out, they just flaunt. Just juggle and jive and say any mess they want. Watch when they on TV, they like counting sheep. They eating and they laughing or they fast asleep. Cause we got some jokey leaders in a jokey town. A tree ring circus, what a bunch of clowns. They joking and they jiving, they messing around. We got some jokey leaders, what a bunch of clowns. Hey! What, man? Jay Jokey. It's what he do now. Nuts! Hey! Come on. When I say a tree ring circus, that's how them clowns just be. Round here taking picture with every fool they see. When they in the house, they joking, laughing around. All they need is them big shoes. They'll be the perfect clown. Makeup on their face, color in their hair. Big clown nose and them Batman underwear. They bring in carnival so they can joke around. They bring in carnival cause there's a bunch of clowns. Man, we got some jokey leaders in a jokey town.
You've got it locked and loaded to the Friday, July 4th edition of Talking Heads. My good brethren, KB, bringing it in for us on National Pride Day. All right? So I want to say happy National Pride Day to all my fellow Bahamians out there. Naughty along with Mary Jane in your company right up until 6 p.m. Happy National Pride Day, MJ.
Same to you.
So, you know, we kicking it Bahamian.
The studio looks so good. Like it's all decorated in our colors and the flags. And I see some, and that looks like androsia.
Yeah, and they got androsia. They got
the straw.
The original straw done
works.
properly, you
Yes.
know, and embroidered. I like
That's
it.
the way I remember Strawworks growing up.
Correct.
Yeah, good stuff here.
Yeah, man. So we're getting, you know, ready to get into our independence next week. But happy 4th of July to all of my American brothers and sisters here in the 242. Especially my crew down there and the embassy, man, who always got us locked and loaded.
We spent last year, actually, we were in the U.S. for 4th of July, and they do
Correct.
it. They do it big.
But them fireworks, now that's fireworks. No disrespect.
We're crazy.
You know, that last thing, but I got to step up your game because that 4th of July last year at that Perfect Game tournament was off the chain.
It was so good. Yeah, so happy Independence Day to all of our American friends here as well.
And get your 4th of July on. And then, you know, obviously next week, enjoy ours with us too on the 10th.
Oh, yeah. We're going to be partying next week. So many events leading up to next week. You know, there's a whole calendar. You can go online and check it out at bahamas.gov.bs. So, yeah, National Pride Day. That's today.
There you go, man. So we're going to be, you know, kicking it all afternoon long with Bahamian music. So whatever you want to hear, make sure text us or call us. And as a matter of fact, we're still going to open up the lines. You can talk about whatever. You know, we're trying to keep it independency, but, you know, and National Pride Day. But there's lots to talk about. So whatever you want to talk about, we can, because the lines will be open. If you want to chime in, here's how.
Here's how you can become a talking head. Brought to you by BTC.
Text lines powered by BTC. 422-GR96. That's 422-4796. Phone lines open in New Providence, 323-6232, 325-4259, 4316. Toll free in any one of the family islands, 242-300-5720, 242-300 5720. Stream us live. Take us wherever you want to go. GuardianTalkRadio.com. That's GuardianTalkRadio.com. All right, let's get to the phone lines. Talking Heads.
Hey, good day, Naughty. How you doing, man?
Afternoon, how are you?
Okay. Hey, Naughty. That on my voice message from Fred Mitchell. That's Fred Mitchell or that's Fred Mitchell? Who that is? That's Fred or Fred?
I don't know if that's Fred, if that's Drop Dead Fred, Gingerbread, Right Said Fred.
Ginger?
I don't know if that's Fred or the Fred we know or that's AI Fred. I don't know.
But I mean, Ginger's a girl's name. Why use the Ginger when you say Fred?
Well, I don't know, man. All I know is I stopped listening to Mr. Mitchell's like actual voice notes eons ago. I have better things to do with my 3 minutes and 29 seconds every day. So yeah. I couldn't tell you what it is, but what I'm hearing is everybody got they mouths agape, they talking. So I don't know. I'll have to track down, force myself to listen to it.
Okay.
But what
did he say?
What did he say? What did you hear?
Caller, if you can tell us.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yes.
What did he say, caller? Let us know.
I haven't heard it.
I more like talking like, you know, like you saw often.
Did we lose?
All right, we lost you. I don't know.
All right, we lost the caller. All right.
But listen.
Thanks. We'll try to track that. I haven't heard it. So we'll try to track it down and try to have a listen.
But listen, I mean.
Thank you.
I don't know. I mean, I look at it and I say, okay. Thou protesteth too mucheth. Isn't that a saying? I mean.
Sure.
Well, somebody who's talking about certain things so much. I mean, I wonder.
But imagine a crazy voice note on National Pride Day when we should be celebrating the country and the culture and all that good stuff. Anyway, I don't know what was on it. I haven't heard it.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. We could give that a break for today. The silly septuagenarian gets enough attention on his own.
You should be
for
talking
about
about
disease.
What we're happy about as Bahamians, and we do have proud of. You know, we have a lot of things to be proud of, even though we have a lot of problems still to work out.
Let's go back to the phone lines. Talking Heads.
Yeah, no, go MJ. How y'all doing?
Hey, good. How are you?
Yeah, man. Happy American independence to all our American friends and everything too.
Yeah, man.
Howard did play the clip too. I know it was AI or what too, but he was just reading up the COI and the F&M, and then he's saying like, well, the F&M up this sissy talk and things like that. But what about the candidate who they send to run against me? Like he said, the only thing what I get from
really doesn't sound like.
Well, I mean,
it takes one to know one.
I mean, I just feel like on today, which is National Pride Day, we really should be engaged in more productive conversation. And I hate it when they take us down that road. Yeah, no. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we don't need to know what he said anymore. As usual,
right. Muff, enjoy your holiday,
thank you, Muff.
National Pride Day.
Thanks, Muff. But as usual, it sounds like it wasn't even going down that road.
If this voice note allegedly insulted the F&M or the CO, that sounds like Fred. So that's probably not AI. That's just some of his feelings.
Anyway, I think that we shouldn't go down this road, like I said, with our, politicians. We're actually celebrating National Pride Day today, and I think it's wonderful. We have the big Independence Day, 52nd, and I think that we have a lot of things as Bahamians to be proud of. Yes, we have problems. Yes, we have issues. Yes, we have stressors.
Come along, we should be proud of the fact that we've got, to this point today, radio stations and people could call in and talk out the side of the net from time to time.
That we have freedom of the airwaves.
Correct, for the most part.
That is something, and it's
should be proud of.
It's been stated before in the past, but that is something to be proud of, that you can hear more voices. It's less managed than at some other places or like
and
times
the news
in the past.
Is less controlled
than it used to be when it was just maybe one or two stations. We do have a plethora of able to get their viewpoints across. Like I said, I am proud of this country for a lot of things, and I think we have a lot of reasons to be proud, even though we do have issues.
We do. We got a lot of issues, but we got a lot of things to be proud of. I mean, I could tell you 3 or 4 right now. I mean, you could say Jazz, John Quell.
You go into sports right away.
Buddy, VJ.
Of course.
And many more, Shawnee. I mean, we could go on athletically. We've done well. But I think we need.
What about Aisha Bo? She's a Bahamian.
There you
Big
go.
proud of us,
And out there in space.
So out there, like that was a big deal. The first time in the history of this country we had a Bahamian go into near space, right? But
Correct.
That's a big deal, and that happened this year. So a lot of things may be slow, but
big things
we're getting it done, and locally
Correct.
at home. We're never going to forget at home.
home.
There's so much happening here as well. Yeah, we got issues. We need to work on the crime situation. We need to work on education, healthcare, cost of like I can name a list as long as I choose today to try to focus on
just
the positive and
Correct.
eliminate the negative.
All right. No, I'm not. Oh, that was an earlier text. That was for Lang. No, I'm not drinking. Not yet. I haven't drunk yet, but maybe I might have a lick or two just to be in National Pride Day.
Yeah.
That'd be a big if. Cause
A nice rattler.
I haven't had any libation in a minute.
I like the who was the guava one? I like that one. The
I
rattlers.
mean, that's
Mescalec.
lick, yeah.
Or one of them.
Get all.
Why
Be
not?
completely Bahamian.
Why not?
That's what I'm talking about. I will get to the phones in a second. Good afternoon, Naughty and MJ. That show that comes on in the night is never as balanced. Always has two guest affiliates with the same party. What am I trying to get into is that last week on that show, they were talking about F&M taking long to bring out candidates and hollering about it. The reporter asked the PM when he's rolling out his candidates. He said in due course, and the guest on the show said we don't have to rush to roll anybody. Please put Mr. Mitchell in his place. He's blaming an F&M. Okay, but this is a big voice note. You put like 3 for 1 in there today, boy.
Okay.
All right. Again, like I said, I haven't heard the voice note.
Maybe we'll do that on the break so we have
the
some more
break?
context,
But just from what I'm hearing, insulting to what the F&M and the CLI, that pretty much sounds like Fred. Let's go to the phone lines. Talking heads.
Naughty by nature.
Not because I hate you.
Right away. Hey, Mary J.
Hey, GNN, you're right.
I would like to thank that dynamic duo for acknowledging our independence today.
Yeah.
Happy whatever your day is today. Happy that too. But 50 years of living in the Bahamas, I still celebrate our Independence Day over here. You see, now, Naughty, this ain't no conspiracy theory. Okay? I know when you put on your comedian hat now, you can try. But GNN was born in Buffalo, New York, 1963.
Okay.
Okay? So today
And like I tell all of my friends from Buffalo that I know over the years, you guys got great wings, but your football team sucks.
That is true.
Not only with the Buffalo, all of them. All right, man. Thanks.
Have a
All right,
good one.
Janet, well, happy Independence to you.
Yes.
And then I know you could do it up proper on the 10th as well, too, but it's
Yep.
National Pride Day, so we're glad you chimed in.
Well, I read your face in my concert right now.
I know how you go. Be safe now. Take
Have a-
care, but
have a great weekend.
Hey, which valley you in? GNN, valley number
boy.
1 or valley number 2?
Still two? Jeez.
But there is only one, Saxon.
Yeah.
Always remember that. Anyway, let's get back to the text lines. I get people getting up in arms and, because obviously you hear certain things and you want to know now, is it actually true? We don't have a freedom hopping on the fact that everything could be AI. Everything could be
This is
computerized.
so-
Everything could be technology.
It's so crazy, but I mean, we had to have known that eventually we would get to this point, right? You saw a lot of it kind of deployed during the U.S. elections, other elections, and we have an election coming up, so you expect this. I think it's quite sad that some people have so much time on their hands that they're doing, making these AIs, whether it's an opposing political party making it to make another party look bad, whether it's the party themselves making it and blaming it on the other people to make them look bad. Regardless, I don't think it really has a place. We are such a small population, right?
We have too many issues we need to talk about rather than personal slapping up and mudslinging.
And I'm really hoping, I have a feeling that this political season is going to be a little bit ratchet, but I'm really hoping...
You were
within
thinking ratchet. I was thinking trapsy.
Trapsy and ratchet, yeah. But I'm hoping that...
And a lot of slugs.
That's on the minimal and then like actually addressing issues and, you know, like a contest of ideas is at the forefront. But, you know, it could be a little trap seat. Like, that goes without saying. Can't fool ourselves.
Good afternoon, Naughty and MJ. I'm really upset at what picture they have portrayed on that T-shirt. It's utter garbage. Please don't display that anywhere. Do not wear it. Do not desecrate Sir Lyndon like that. Texter, I agree.
I did see that trap seat.
Well,
who did that?
I don't know, but in all honesty,
Let me see if I could
with my responsible
track this down. a little
Bahamian
bit.
hat on, my broadcaster's hat on,
It's right there.
I agree. You should not desecrate a image of the father of the nation, Sir Lyndon Pinland, in the way it was done. It doesn't serve a place. It has nothing to do with independence. And it shouldn't be out there. You shouldn't make money off of it. It shouldn't be, you know, disseminated. It is wrong. And it shouldn't be encouraged. And those who are responsible should actually, you know, be held accountable in some way, shape, or form. I know it's freedom of expression, but maybe at least a little counseling, like how distasteful it really is. Sometimes, you know, it's not that funny. Or the joke's not that important. Now, as I agree it shouldn't be done, and I don't condone it, now that I put my comedian hat on, I cannot lie. I briefly laughed when I first saw it. But I don't condone it.
Yeah, I mean,
Because I'm sure a lot of Bahamians feel the same way. They're wrong for doing it, but they did get to chuckle in true ice-cold Bahamian fashion. We have zero chill when it comes to social media. We will post any foolishness out there, and that's normally the stuff that goes viral.
there's a part of it which gets into the technical part about who owns the rights to the original photograph. Did they get permission to go ahead and make those artistic changes? And even though I think it's very trapsy, like I said, very ratchet, and, you know, I wouldn't buy it, I get that artists do express themselves sometimes in ways that we don't like. So even though I think it was a bit tasteless, I'm not coming down hard on the artists because they are, you know, kind of expressing their creative freedom. And even though we may not like it, it doesn't rise to me to the level of just totally, you know, annihilating whomever is responsible for it.
I agree. I don't think there should be annihilation. I think there should be consultation. Like, hey, listen, you're an artist, you're creative, you're trying to do it. It has some humor to it, but it's a little distasteful. Now,
I mean, I've seen pictures of George Washington in all kind of like gangster clothing as well. You know, when I look at it and I'm like, wow, you know. So to me,
I'm
it's
guilty
tasteless,
of laughing at Trump
and it
memes.
can be both. It could be both things. Yeah, you've seen memes
Trump
of
memes
other
keep me
people.
entertained all day. I cannot tell you a word of lie. I will laugh.
And even though we don't like it, I think overall it's better for politics in general to have no sacred cows. I don't like it. I don't like the look of it, but that's just me and my taste. Maybe young people got something out of it. I don't know. But then you have the technical part of it. You know, did you get permission to do that based on another person's work? I don't know. So,
Naughty and MJ, I would like to thank you. They are listening. The part off another vehicle gave me back a portion of my money because the part is considered used from another vehicle when I paid for a new part. I don't think they wanted their name live on radio, but I always get results when I touch base with you guys. Thank you so much. So I'm glad you didn't have to wait 10 to 12 weeks for your part.
lovely.
For the power of talking heads.
Awesome.
To that dealership that listens, good job. Way to satisfy the customer. All right? I wish I did have your name to call to say you did a good job satisfying the customer and getting them sorted. And that's what we're here to do. It's not just beat up our gums. It's to draw attention to the issues and then have solutions to the issues. Now, how we draw attention, you may not like, because I might laugh at y'all and make a little fun of y'all, or MJ may hit you with the hardcore facts. It's hard to palate, but it is what it is. We do it at the end of the day to get solutions and get results, so I'm glad there was a happy ending to that. Let's get to the phone lines. Talking heads.
Yeah, bless up, Naughty. Bless up, MJ.
What's going on, 52?
Hey, 52.
Yeah, a couple of jokes today, but Ironline, you ain't get mad if I say enough respect to KBA.
No, man.
Man,
Big
do it.
respect.
Yeah, you know, KB off the chain, man. KB's make me proud. I mean, I like Lil Trey and your boy Stolito. All of them, even the females the most, so I like, you know what I mean? You really enjoy them. If they play them enough, you know what I mean? KB, that's like KB music. It's KB a certain type of spirit, all of them, you know what I mean? I want to get this in as relates to the social engineering project going on here. I see the word pride, right? National. Make sure I say national pride.
Mm-hmm.
It's naughty because they're trying to get us used to the other type.
Well,
of
National Pride Day.
I just trying to get a little funny on that. You know what I mean? And naughty. Hello.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, 52.
You weren't the only one who grew up listening to the Wu-Tang, the 2000 Day Judgment album. Go home and listen to that. Then that reminds us how young we was. Play one of them songs one of these days from a bless up.
No problem, man. I got you some Wu-Tang. If I don't do it today, I promise you next week we can make sure I have that going for you, 52. I appreciate you, giving me the opportunity to do that. Because sometimes when I do it, other people are like, oh my God, Naughty, you went so hardcore rap. Well, Wu-Tang is like solid. That ain't just hardcore rap. That's like seminal. That's like, one of a kind. That was a sound. That was a staple. Y'all gonna cost me one plate Wu-Tang right now.
No, we don't.
We gotta get to the break. Who taking us to the break? Ronnie?
Oh, love it.
Man, you picked the Ronnie?
Love it.
Youngster, I picked the Ronnie. So break, we'll play the Ronnie that I pick. All right? As a matter of fact, line up who put the pepper, and never mind. We'll go to the break.
She was looking pretty and smiling with me, and I think my line is beguiling. She, oh no. No time flat, I take she by the hand. Yes. I'm a born Bahamian.
Abaco, get ready for the summer's official rum and beer link call. Royalty Sounds present Found Fast. Found Fast. Saturday, July 5th, Morris Harbor, Abaco at the Royal Recreational Ground. Gates open 5 p.m., $20 entry. Ladies free before 8 p.m. with Nassau and Abaco's hottest DJ. Don't miss the beer drinkers versus rum drinkers come. Damn rum for me. Found Fast, July 5th, Abaco. Sponsored by Collect, the Beer of the Bahamas. Drink responsibly.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances. So come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Learn more at Cancer.
Hear that? That's not just a crunch. It's the sound of flavor turning up. Introducing the Doritos Kentucky Chicken Sandwich, a delicious combination of KFC's juicy original recipe extra large filet, stacked with real Doritos nacho cheese chips for a loud, cheesy crunch in every bite. It's bold, it's crunchy, and it's only $8.95. Everyone's chasing the crunch. Don't be the one who missed it. KFC and Doritos, a crunch that's finger-licking good.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty and Mary Jane. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
It's time for The Buzz. What are you buzzing on? Brought to you by John Shoes.
As we get back into the Friday, July 4th edition of Talking Heads, your boy Naughty Mary Jane, and you coming right up at 6 p.m. We can let Ronnie Butler, the late great legend himself, bring us into the buzz, all brought to you across by John Shoes. You know, I could have gone plenty ways with my Ronnie selection, but I was told to behave, so we can go down Burma Road instead. Ronnie, give it to them. Let's go. Play it in your car. Turn it up loud. Sing out loud. Love yourself. It's National Pride Day. Just sweet things. You know. All right, then.
Going down Burma Road, going down Burma Road, going down Burma Road. I can't let nobody. Don't let nobody. Don't let nobody. Don't let nobody. Don't let nobody. Going down Harrow Road, going down Robinson Road, going down Carmichael Road. I can't let nobody. Don't lick nobody. Don't lick nobody. Don't lick nobody. Don't lick nobody. Bullfrogs dressed up in soldier clothes went to the river just to shoot some crows. Crows smell fire and they all fly away, Lord. Bullfrog get vexed and he cry all day. Bullfrog dressed up in soldier clothes went to the river just to shoot some crows. Crows smell fire and they all fly away, Lord. Bullfrog get vexed and he cry all day. Do a nanny, do a nanny, do a nanny, how you do? Yeah, do a nanny, do a nanny, do a nanny, how you do? Yeah, do a nanny, do. A nanny went to New Orleans, all she ate was pork and beans. Yeah, do a nanny, do. A nanny went to Montserrat, there a nanny skinned that cat. Yeah, do a nanny, do. Do a nanny, do a nanny, do a nanny, how you do? Yeah, do a nanny, do. Do a nanny, do a nanny, do a nanny, how you do? Yeah, do a nanny, do. Going down Bremer Road, going down Bremer Road, going down Bremer Road, I can't lick nobody. Don't lick nobody.
Don't lick nobody. Don't lick nobody.
I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna ask you a really crazy question right now, and I know that at one point I used to know the answer to this question, but I just can't remember. Which road was or used to be Burma Road now?
Oh, okay.
I know it. I knew it when I first moved here because I asked when I first moved here because you learn about it intellectually in school. And I remember visiting it, but I can't remember. It used to be Burma Road.
Hold it right there, because I want to come back into the song, because the best sort of that song coming up, but high top tennis and son. Hold on. I coming back to that.
Pause.
I thought you had a hard question like why Bullfrog dress up in soldier clothes.
Well, I know
I
why.
can tell you, Burma Road, from what I remember being told and brought up,
right,
is now what is Blake Road. And that used to be the airfield down there during World War II.
The same road?
Burma Road is now Blake Road, if I'm understanding correctly.
Why did we change the name?
And apparently the Burma Road riot was a significant event in Bahamian history.
Of course it was. That's what we learned about in school.
And it barred the beginning of our labor movement because they went down to protest pay discrepancies, all right? After, wealthy honky Joe Bahamians began building in the area, all right, in Western New Providence. And apparently,
such an historic,
there was a pay dispute.
Such an historic name. Why did we change the name? And smart people, smart talking heads out there. Someone call and tell me why we changed the name.
Anyway, get back to that piece of Ronnie I wanted to hear.
High tops.
Well, let me tell you, I know them long time.
Them people is mine.
I used to go in the bush, catch a couple of crab, carry it home, get out the old iron pot in the back of the yard on tree rock, boil them crab, get a little bit of flour, cook it half done, and eat crab. Yeah, now they around here talking, but steak and thing. Listen, you should hear them when they ordering these big time drink talking, but zombie and slow gin fizz and thing.
Ding.
I don't get it, because I know when they used to go in the market, buy a couple sour lime, carry it home, squeeze them in one of them old peaches can half full of water, throw a little sugar in that and drink sweet gin.
Okay.
Right. Listen. I know them
long time. Them people is mine.
Let me tell you, gotta
listen.
get some old
Listen.
yam, some old pumpkin, some old sweet potatoes, some old cabbage, some old carrots.
Then last you had some good boiled food, Bahamians. Think about it. Our style.
Please let that boil down together. Then
How
you
we
put
cook it.
flour,
We need
throw it
that.
in the pan, throw some salt and water and that, mix it up with your hand. Boom! Pea soup and dough boy. That's right. Listen, let me tell you, I'm a native son, you see. I know where it's at because that's where I'm from. Over the hill, in the bush, down Boehmer Road. Listen, let me tell you something. You gotta get this good old native food. Pea soup and dough boy, guinea corn hominy and lard, steamed conch and Johnny cake, and old crab and hominy. You gotta get some peas and rice and gotta get some stew fish and potato bread and thing like that. You see? Listen, now, just to go off the course for a little bit here, I got some friends have a habit of coming in wearing big time shape. Fella come here the other night tell me, say, boy, he say, I wearing a $25 custom made shirt. And I look at him and laugh because I remember when all of you used to thank God for Robin Hood flour. That's right, flour bag. And then he got a heart to come and tell me, say, he wear $95 alligator skin shoes. Well, I'll be doggone. Listen, I remember when we used to go to high mass Sunday morning wearing high top tennis with no socks on. And God help you if it rain, because toe jam will kill you.
One of the greatest lines in the history of Bahamian music, right there.
Goodness.
Right there. I could see myself as a child just listening to these albums over and repeatedly. My grandpa, Cam Thompson, had them. Ronnie Butler was a dear friend. They used to talk all the time. And my God, that to me to this day is one of the greatest lines ever. Top tennis on. And thank God it didn't rain, because toe jam will kill you. That's Bahamian. Some of y'all got toe jam right now. Be proud of your toe jam. Let's go to the phone lines. Talking head.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, a pleasure. Good afternoon. I'm Naughty. Good afternoon.
Afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon.
Mary Jane, and happy National Pride Day.
Same to you.
Same to you.
Listen, I just want to, I don't know if I could shed some light. I think I even as a history teacher, I didn't even realize that, I don't think that the road was ever named Bohemian Road.
Okay.
I got it from off of Aaron's. One time, I think she was talking about the book that Arrington Watkins wrote. And he was giving the story of the riots and whatnot.
Well, I know just where to get a copy of that book from.
Yeah, my understanding that it was named after the riot itself was named after or the connotation was taken from Burma in India.
Correct.
Oh.
Because that was the airfield where you had a lot of the RAF pilots and base camp set up out there.
Right.
And then when they went to build in Western New Providence, the rate and pay was different, so they protested, which is by rights what they should have done.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that is how I understand.
Thank you so much.
Now, can you help me and answer me a question? Do you know why Bullfrog dress up in soldier clothes?
Well, I guess he wanted to get in the army.
I guess. I know. I'm trying to find out the answer, but if you see Bullfrog, find out this.
Hey, listen, I want to ask so many things with Ronnie is saying, and there was one song. Oh Lord, I forget what it is. And he was saying, somebody is the JP or something like that. You remember that song?
Yeah. Some is JP because Josiah is JP because somebody dead. Yeah, right. we can find that one too. See if we find that one.
Mr. Producer working on that.
I was trying to get the story behind that. Somebody's the JP.
So many questions.
So many questions. And Ronnie had so many hits, man.
Thank you so much. Have a great weekend.
Let's get to the other calls. Talking heads.
Yes, sir. I'm calling to answer your question.
Hey, thanks, caller.
Good afternoon to one and all.
Good afternoon.
Under the sound of my voice. That song was created to cover up the plot to kill the late Sir Harry Oates.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Mm.
And all of the frustration that they caused in the Bahamas was caused by expatriates, not our white Bahamians, and not the British monarchy. That is a biblical honor. Okay? And happy anniversary to the United States of America. It's the biblical defender of all disadvantaged nations, and especially Donald John Trump, who caused universal recognition to the holy sepulchre of Jerusalem, the tomb that is empty where Jesus lies. Okay?
All right, and I guess so. I get it now. So the caller is trying to refer to, I guess, all the hullabaloo call by the Marnie case out of the Sir Harry Oates.
Oh, I remember that.
Boy, listen.
Read the book.
You would have loved my grandpa Cam Thompson.
No, your aunt gave me. Aunt gave me the book. I read that.
King's X.
A couple of them.
Yeah, and I mean it breaks down everything, and that's one of those cases that has gone into Bahamian legend. You don't really talk and you don't really push by that case because. Then you really
like an urban legend, right? That's another Fred you left for Freddy Krueger.
No. Fred Krueger got way too much backbone and to be ever compared to that other Fred. No way.
Caller.
Talking heads.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good afternoon.
You're discussing the 4th of July.
Well,
we're really celebrating National Pride Day, which is our
National Pride Day.
But we do know that our neighbors are,
Okay, then. Okay, yes. I thought y'all were celebrating 4th of July.
Oh.
Because no black people in America should be celebrating the 4th of July because they were not free.
Gotcha.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Okay.
Everybody's fired up today. And listen, hey, I like it. I like it. Let me get to the text lines. Naughty and MJ, this story is getting big in the States about the gentleman who got run over by the boat in Exuma. Why the government hasn't said anything about it? They're waiting until the Americans are forced to get involved. We should know about it. Maybe, you know, that is the DPM's constituency, and maybe, you know, you need better ambulances down there. Maybe you need a rescue boat or two. Maybe you need to check on the moorings that are now being built without permission or got permission or should have been paused that are now in the boating lanes without proper lighting. And of course, I mean, maybe that's why they don't want to hear, because maybe a lot of things are out of whack.
You're right. The part about the accident itself and the response to the accident is one part of the story. But like we said, that was the most pressing, right? Because you had someone injured. But besides that, we do have to deal with this issue of him being run over by a boat and apparently the boat not stopping. I think I heard a news report earlier where the either a passenger in the boat or the driver looked back, saw that they had injured someone and kept it moving, which is crazy, right? So, yeah, we need to get ahead of this. The police, whoever's going to deal with this particular case, it's on the waters, I don't know, needs to figure out who the driver of that boat that was. Let's get in front of this before... You know, it balloons.
Another bad black eye and brand damage to the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Naughty and MJ, the Bahamas has another opportunity to elect another generational leader in Michael Pintar. The last time he had this opportunity was Hubert Ingram. When he was on the ticket, I really hope we make a wise decision at the polls. Good afternoon, Naughty, and my favorite talk show host, MJ. Happy National Pride Day and Independence. I'm proud and thankful that I'm still able to continue my after-school tennis program.
Awesome.
My 25th annual camp starts on Monday.
My goodness.
And no more pulled hamstrings for you, all right? Just take your time
take
and
it
hydrate,
easy.
okay?
But congratulations to you. That is so
and
awesome.
Job well done. Continue to take care of those kids down there in Eleuthera with that tennis program. Awesome stuff.
And we haven't touched on it today. I don't want people to think that we're not going to touch on it. This is something we're definitely going to cover in depth next week. The headlines in both dailies today about the teens and where our kids are at.
1 in 5 teens attempt suicide. Alcohol use among teens at crisis level. Obesity rates among teens at crisis level. Let's go to the phone lines. Talking Heads.
Yeah, Naughty and MJ. I'm sorry for calling back, but it's good to big up the Oaks family. And I'm not praising any white mom, but the lady that called and said, she said something to do with the plot to kill Sahari Oaks, right?
Right.
Yeah, what she's meaning, the song? That's what I was trying to find out.
The song, yeah, Burma Road.
And I'd like to thank her for that. And so, MJ.
Hey.
You read the book, right?
I did.
All right. You see how thrilling the book is?
Yes. Several of them that his aunt that...
MJ, why haven't they made a movie for this?
I'm waiting on it.
Because 52, I tell you, that's one of them stories you don't talk. Bad things happen when you try to bring light to that, bro.
They're scared to touch it.
Naughty.
Go ahead.
I won't big up Sahari Oaks because, in the book it is said that he was one of the first to pay black people the same amount of money as the whites. He was a down there person. He was in a society up there, even though he was rich. He was down there. He would wear big boots with plaid shirts, and he was. So they hate him because he didn't have like finesse at the dinner table. He was in a social.
Let me tell you, Sahari Oaks made his money in the Yukon, in Canada, up there in the gold rush. Made all his money up there.
Reading that book, so me and MJ have the real outlook.
Yes.
Of even ship. But MJ,
I read the book too there, 52.
Reporters from England that came over to further investigate even up to the 70s. So we know deep this goes. I might end up deep. Give thanks.
Yeah, man. I tell you, I don't think that's why they push it, but
for the movie as well for years, but
Sahari was very down to earth. And I'll tell you an interesting story about Sahari Oaks. Ran into the British Colonial for breakfast. Got horrible service. Bought it. Came back. Next day, sat down for breakfast, fired the minute, and started empowering Bahamians right there.
And that literally became like one of the main plot lines of Crazy Rich Asians, a movie years later. Because for someone to be able to do that, it's just like crazy stuff, right?
Very
crazy
much.
rich.
But I wish I had that kind of money just one time. Ooh. Slap it down.
You mean buy every place you get bad service?
Not every place, but we'd be broken. But I mean,
come on.
Naughty and MJ concerning the T-shirt with Celine, it speaks more volume of the people who actually buy it and wear it.
I think so.
Agree.
I think so. I mean, I could see someone saying, you know what? Come on, our youngsters, come on, this would be cool, and they would do it, and they wouldn't think about it, and they'll get some laughs from their friends, but some of us who know better, right, should do better. Why would you buy that? At the end of the day, your money, would speak volumes if you support it. So yeah, I'm not gonna come down to it. I have to assume that's a young person that came up with that idea, and they're being creative, maybe a little bit misguided, but I wouldn't bash them too hard for the creativity. I just wouldn't purchase that.
Nope. Naughty and MJ, normally I fully agree with you, but regarding the shirt with Celinda, the challenge is that too many young people don't know of the achievements of that majority rule and independence administration. They are not taught about the establishment of national institutions that are pillars of this nation. Example, national insurance, free education, free health, the integration of the professions with Bahamians. They think things have always been the way they are.
You think they're not taught, or it's like for some, not all, not even most, it just goes in one ear and out the next? Because I feel like we do a lot of, it's in the curriculum.
Naughty Blake Road equals Burma Road. Y'all were doing so well until you let that half-crazed woman... Stop it.
Could y'all tell me? Because I don't remember.
But now that I know that they calling me officially, I mean, when they calling, everybody listening. Yeah, King's X was banned, I think. Let's get to the phone lines.
Company, then.
Talking Heads.
Hey, Naughty.
Talking Heads.
I'm not sure the name of the movie, but there was a movie made on Sahara Yachts in Jamaica, seemed to be in Jamaica.
Okay.
Yeah, not here in the Bahamas.
Okay.
No, you said movie, you didn't say Bahamas.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Be specific.
Also, the story that I heard about Sahara Yachts and the British colonial was he went get dressed with short pants, and they refused to serve him. So the next day he bought it and then take over the property.
There you go.
By whoever is giving him half of.
All right. Well, thank you for giving me the context on that, man. But I know it's along those lines for sure.
So I just did a little search, and there's a movie called Passion in Paradise, it was released in 1989. It won the Gemini Award. Apparently, the basic plot of it is about the Harry Oaks story. So, oh my goodness, Armand Asante was in this movie. Okay. And so was Rod Steiger.
We'll have to look at that.
I have not seen that one. Maybe check it out. Only got a 6.5, though, out of 10. So, I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, wait, another one. I needed to look this up earlier. Murder in Paradise, which is a TV movie in 2006. It reveals the findings of a 5-year investigation into the murder of Sahari. Got it.
All right, I'm getting some intel here. I got to follow up and do my due diligence, but allegedly they might have somebody in that boating situation in Exuma.
They may.
But they're doing the due diligence. Hopefully, they can find out who it was. Hopefully the boat was licensed.
Yeah.
Hopefully it wasn't an unlicensed vessel.
I'm sure because, you got the wide open sea. I don't think people will go out of their way. I don't know to intentionally injure someone. But if you do injure someone accidentally, the decent thing to do is to stop and to render assistance, But anyway, we'll hear more on that. But I would think that would be the first thing. Because even in the boating world, right, like there's almost like a different like code of honor out there, because when you're out there in the deep, and not between you, but the devil in the deep blue sea, right?
Right.
You often find that boaters lend assistance. Like that's the thing. You go out there, you see someone else stranded in a boat, you're lending assistance. So to know that this person or persons hit someone and kept going, like that's crazy. That's not
our culture. That's not how we do it.
Yeah, that is definitely not our usual.
Not our boating culture. Everybody want help.
Correct. Usually you get more help than you need.
Naughty and MJ, I remember the area where the Royal Air Force pilots flew from is where the sports center now is, the University of the Bahamas. That is probably the location that was called Burma Road back then.
See, now y'all confused. Like, I'm getting confused now. I know before we get out of here today, we'll know for sure where Burma.
Correct.
But I think we got a fairly decent explanation earlier.
Okay, we got a ton of texts to get to. We got more calls to get to. So what we're going to do is we're going to get to the break. Flip side of the break, we'll get into the news. All right? And after the news, we'll get into the 5 o'clock hour. We'll take this over a little bit, and we'll talk sports with Pearlie. All coming up on National Pride Day. All right? As we celebrate our National Pride Day, happy independence to our American brothers and sisters on their 4th of July. Oh, Lord. You get Eddie Minnis lineup?
That's what.
Nobody. Not Pimps in the Pulpit. No, man. Go, if you're doing Eddie Minnis, you got to do the buffet by Eddie Minnis. Coming out the break, yes, break.
Got it lined up.
The buffet. Church out crab calling. Plenty crowd crawling now. Even got to be in or be out for these crowd to be crawling.
You're listening to Talking Heads right here on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. We're going to break for the news. Of course, Cuban Willie's numerology report is coming up as well. On the other side, we got more Bahamian music, and we'll get to all of your text messages. Keep it locked in.
He keep on, he pick up truck. What a joyful spirit, all that proudly picking up. Him singing, count your blessings, count them one by one, 1 dozen. Count your blessings, count them 2 by 2, 2 dozen. Count your blessings under the sun. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. These crowd can't done. Church out, crowd crawling. Church out, crowd crawling. Cut the sermon short, real quick, say amen. Cause you could preach about heaven one step crowd in the pen. Well, Sister Brown was catching crowd with 2 hands. Brother Ford fill up he barrel, Smith fill up he van. But don't think Rev was getting left out the act. He was stuffing crowd down that Black Romani band.
When them crowd all over yonder, 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 I'll be there. I let the church out.
And impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Long day? Hungry crew? Say less and satisfy everyone with KFC's Summer Buckets. Grab a super summer bucket and get 8 juicy pieces of fried chicken, 8 nuggets, corn, our new white rice with gravy, 4 buttery biscuits, 4 Switcher Pink lemonades, and 4 dessert biscuits. So whether it's on the beach, at home, or chilling with the crew, KFC's Summer Bucket starting at just $20. Bring all the flavor. Summer with KFC. It's finger licking good.
Germs can spread fast, but with Lysol, you can go into protection mode. When it comes to your laundry, Lysol Laundry Sanitizer is specially designed to sanitize your laundry and kill 99.9% of bacteria. It can be used on most washable fabrics, including baby clothes, gym clothes, undergarments, towels, bedding, and delicates. Available in sport, free and clear, and crisp linen. Washing your clothes is good. Sanitizing them is better. Lysol, what it takes to protect. Now available at your favorite store.
We're still here. Since 1941, the Armory Company has been your trusted partner and one-stop solution for all your business and technology needs. From printers to copier leasing, point of sale to cloud video surveillance, and access. And we ship to all family islands. Call our dedicated customer service team now at 397-1600 or visit us behind Wendy's on Mackey Street and experience excellence that stands the test of time. The Armory Company. Your success is our business.
Our beloved Bahamas is celebrating 52 years of freedom, pride, and progress, and that's something to commemorate. At the Brass and Leather Shop, we've proudly stood with you throughout the years, serving you with quality and care. This Independence, we say thank you for your continued support. We wouldn't be here without you. Come celebrate with us. We look forward to seeing you at any of our locations: Mall at Marathon, Charlotte Street off Bay Street, or the Luggage Store in Centerville. The Brass and Leather Shop, proudly Bahamian since day one. Happy 52nd Independence, Bahamas.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what.
Feeling lucky? Here's Cuban Willie's numerology report. Brought to you by the Island Game.
Wepa, soy yo, Cuban Willie, and it's the weekend, baby. That's right, it's Friday. Time for my numerology report, brought to you, of course, by the Island Game. And I have the double whammy slamming for Joe. the 3 and the 4, the 3 and the 4 pelotas. Las 925, 925, and the Lucky Friday 4 pelotas. 00850085. Play them and win with the Island Games. Stay winning, my friend.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty and Mary Jane. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Talking Heads with Naughty is brought to you by Bahamas Out Island Promotion Board, Burger King, City of Hope, Kalina, John's Department Store, Click, KFC, Muffler World, Naughty Johnny's, Print Masters, Sandcastle Bahamas, and Tropical Gyros.
The Englishman, he takes some fish and chips. The American grab fried chicken, that's a native dish. The Frenchman bypass the food, he heads straight for the wine. The German just click his heel and Billy played with feel. Then along come a Bahamian, a mountain on his plate. He act like he never eat before and he ain't to eat no more. He had
5 pieces of chicken, macaroni and cheese, roast beef, pork chop, rice and black-eyed peas. He had stew conch, crack conch salad too, potato salad and coleslaw, just to name a few. Boom! One of the greatest ever to do it, Eddie Minnis.
Yes.
Great test. 5 more seconds. These plates are far too small.
Potato salad and coleslaw, just to name a few. People watch in amazement at what he eat. He bought such a feat, but before they could finish, I love his score. He was back in the food line trying to get some more. The second time, the same on his dish, except for a couple items. The first time that he missed, he polished all that off in no seconds flat. Then swallow a quarter fruit punch on top of that. But alas, said the Bahamian, that meal was out of sight. All I need now is dessert and I will feel alright. He had 5 scoops of ice cream,
Smothered in with cream,
plain
cake, fruit cake, lemon meringue pie, had tart too. Just to name a few. Here we go. It's National Pride Day. We celebrate all things Bahamian and the legendary Eddie Minnis in his own right. One of the most creative Bahamians I've ever heard put pen to paper as far as writing a song. I mean, it's just jump off. It's just jump out. It's so vivid. You could actually see it as he sings it.
That storytelling element, my gosh. Untouchable.
We had some great ones right down the pike, and we need to identify more of that and embrace that side of our culture.
Storytelling.
Instead of following fashion like how we like to do.
Preserve our culture.
All right, Naughty and MJ, great show as usual. My grandfather was a butler for Sahara Oaks, and from what he told me, he was a good man to the local people. And if you want to stay alive, be quiet. I tell you.
Yikes.
My grandpa told me the same thing. My grandpa might have known your grandpa. You never know.
It's the lore.
He also told me on the night he was murdered, strangely enough, he and all of the staff were called off. I have more to this, but hey, silence, my brother, is golden, but I appreciate you reaching out. I know. Naughty and MJ, I don't mind T-shirts with Sapinin, but we need shirts with Sarandon and Samado Butler too. We need to know if the Oaks family benefited from this movie. Naughty and MJ, our country lacks many audiences from traffic to maritime.
Yeah, I'm sure. You know what? Yeah.
Naughty and MJ, I think Burma Road is what is now known as Nassau Street.
Oh man, so Blake Road to, it's not really a road to Nassau Street.
The more y'all keep talking, Burma Road all around the island.
It's like, wow.
Okay, how about this one? This is a good description right here. Excuse me. Let me choke first. There was another one that was broken down, and I'll find
Burma India. Burma doesn't even, they call it's Myanmar now, right? Myanmar.
Right.
So that's crazy. I just wondered like where it was and also why did we change the name? But one of the explanations, you know, kind of would answer that question because it was never really the name of a road. But now y'all sending me Nassau Street and y'all tell me, y'all sure y'all ain't mixing that up with the Harry Oak story for Oaksville and all that stuff? Because I don't know. Someone tell me.
I had a text and I don't know where it went, but it was basically saying that what they thought Burma Road was it was in back of. Send me that text back because I don't know. Okay, hold on. Yeah, send me that text back because somehow I've lost it. I don't know where it went to. Good day. Burma Road was a track road that was cut between what is now LPIA and Windsor Field.
Okay, so we're back in that same area again. All right.
Naughty, after eating all that food, he had the heart to ask the waitress for a Diet Coke.
Y'all gotta stop. Y'all got to stop.
Great show, as usual. Naughty, after the White Knights took over the government, they erased the most important parts of Burma Road. Harry Oakes created Burma Road to get poor blacks to help him develop the western part of Nassau. But the White Knights didn't like how Harry Oakes owned from Montague Beach to Clifton Pier. He owned all the beachfront properties. There's nothing wrong with that. Smart man, if you could have purchased them all back in the day and you had that opportunity to do it, you can't be mad. All right, let's get to the phone lines. Talking Heads.
Hey, Naughty, what's up?
What's going on?
MO6 and 7. I don't like MJ.
I know why you here, boy.
I can't help it.
Yeah, what? Because of DeAndre Ayton?
No, because with that accent right there, I said I had you in 2 seconds.
What are you talking about? What do you mean?
Anyhow, I that's a joke for another day.
MJ, what your boy talking about, MJ?
Yeah, American accent, man. I want to make sure you know.
Well, what are you talking about? You're talking about the big beautiful Bill?
Yeah, see, I gotta make sure you know they didn't send you back already.
Is it a big,
you know.
beautiful bill or is it a big, ugly bill? Because I'm hearing like two different descriptions. What do you think?
MJ, what I think is it's great to be in the Bahamas and have the option to be here in the Bahamas.
Smart man.
Men?
Now, what do you?
That's all I'm gonna say on that.
What do you hear from all of your lovely tourists that you make sure transport to and fro in such a wonderful award-winning manner? What they got to say?
It'd be interesting to do a show for y'all through the Department of Statistics. How many Americans actually just in Bahamian real estate? That's like a conversation.
Oh, that's a big-time conversation.
Telling you, and
especially in the gated communities.
Celebrities, and people say whatever, leave. I mean, they got money, they don't care. But it'd be interesting to talk to a couple of the real estate companies here. Many people with means are actually heading out this way, and how it could be beneficial to us, y'all.
That's some good stuff there, Nardis. We will look at that because we've had, you're one of many persons that's reached out talking about that as well too.
It's true, man. I'm just concerned. MJ, stop keeping bad company. Yeah, that's all.
I'll do better next year.
Hey, we having a party next year, boy. Once LeBron gone, I can invite you, and I can let you have your wake, and I can let you have your moment. But then
where LeBron going? Where LeBron going? Where LeBron going?
Out of LA, man.
When?
That's Luka team. He one and done.
Ain't nobody made no announcement about LeBron going to it.
It's wishful thinking.
You have paranoid he got though.
But hold on, MJ, hold on, wait.
Hey.
And I know you used to do like gossip stuff. The baby, is Vanessa really? Is Paul really?
No, but I hear LeBron was worried that he might get invited to another Diddy party, because he was quoted as saying, ain't no party like a Diddy party, not a Diddy getting released.
Did you have a great evening? God bless you.
Enjoy your national.
There you go. Go and sin no more.
National Pride Day.
My favorite bronsexual. Go and sin no more.
Bye, baby.
Have a good weekend, boy. Be safe.
So I'm getting another text saying Burma Road is Blake Road. So.
Yep. All right, let's get to the other calls. Talking Heads.
Hey, good afternoon, Naughty.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon, MJ. How you doing?
I'm great. Good afternoon.
Good, man. Tell me something. For Burma Road, that was a riot over wages discrimination between foreign laborers coming in to build the airport and Bahamian laborers getting paid way less, right?
Correct. That was the gist of it.
People of the day, I mean, they must have been vexed enough in order to come out and riot. Not only for themselves, but also for future generations. You agree?
Correct.
That's true.
But back then we had people of substance and character in abundance. We don't have that in abundance anymore.
No. those that are standing up, even in the present day, and standing up for labor rights and standing up so that the labor rights are protected for future generations of Bahamians in the Bahamas, it's dwindling. And when you specifically look at what's being done to try and correct that the labor, that the unions, that the labor movements are trying to do in insisting on change for the benefit of the Bahamas, that could only really be controlled by acts of parliament and regulation, right?
Correct.
And look where we're at. That if any cruise line wants to bring in foreign cruise workers, the crew offer the ship to work at any one of the 13 destinations, cruise destinations in the Bahamas. The government has agreed that those cruise ship workers could come off the ship and contribute only $3 per day.
$3, yeah, we talked about it on the show before, and I've addressed it elsewhere on other platforms. And yeah, I think it's ludicrous that it's only $3 a day. We should be getting more, per head from foreign nationals working on Bahamian islands, private or not, doing jobs Bahamians can do.
Yeah, and I appreciate you agitating on the different platforms, Nordy. I agree with you. I support it. And I think that there should be more Bahamians standing up as disenfranchised as they are, that they must stand aside and watch as qualified Bahamians can do these jobs, but it's the cruise lines that want to squeeze exploit the labor component out of their foreign cruise ship workers that are working for $500 a month instead of paying a livable wage to Bahamians of $500. I think, and I'm surprised that Bahamians aren't standing up more in uproar and bringing attention to this, that we've not actually made progress in 52 years if the Prime Minister is going to sell us out for $3 a day.
We haven't. I don't think we made a lot of progress in that regard, Toby. We're still relying on foreign investment and Bahamians being disadvantaged because of foreign investment. Yeah, we got jobs, but we don't have ownership. We don't have a piece in the pie, a stake in the game. We just got jobs.
We don't have equity share. And I think that's wrong, and I appreciate both of you guys acting for the benefit for the not only the present generations of Bahamians, but future generations of Bahamians. And if Bahamians would understand that by them agitating, it's an easy enough thing to do to agitate, and the more noise they make, these politicians have got to listen to it, man.
Yeah,
and we can bring about change by standing up. It only takes a few,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
but
absolutely. You're right. You're right.
But there again, a lot of Bahamians have stood up before but been disenfranchised by the results because we got opportunists that did it for, cheap political gain and not for the country. So a lot of people are still disenfranchised.
They gotta live with their reputations for the rest of their lives, as opposed to Bahamians with legitimate cause and legitimate expectations and selfless agendas, I believe can bring about change for Bahamians. And I'd encourage those that are perhaps intimidated by these politicians or are hoping for change, being swung by these promise that change is coming, that I really believe that Bahamians, negligible of what political party they stand for, or if they're indifferent to politics, stand up for the betterment of the nation, especially as we're celebrating independence. Surely, man.
Good stuff, man. I want you to enjoy your National Pride Day, man.
Have a great
and have a great holiday, all right, bro?
Enjoy yours too, man. Thanks, guys.
We'll keep on fighting. You too.
Yep.
All right, good afternoon, Naughty and MJ. The Burma Road started from in back of Cades Village and ran straight to Bernard Road. It originally started from behind Cades Village, and the road ran through Skyline Drive. Then it ran through Bahama Boulevard and came down by the Red Cross Center by the Airport Road. Then it cut through Stapleton Gardens. Then you hit Oaksfield Airport, but after the government created Fort Charlotte and built up Cable Beach and the surrounding areas, Burma Road was erased by the White Knight community. The only part of Burma Road still exists is from the top of the hill by Nassau Guardian, which is the original start of Wolf Road, go straight to Bernard Road. All right.
Thank you. That was surely detailed. Thank you so much.
Sound like you traversed that many a day there, Texter. Naughty and MJ, concerning the T-shirt with Celine, it speaks more of the people who actually buy it than wear it. I agree with that texter earlier. Naughty, can I hear who put the pepper in the button? I can't play that one.
Trapsy on a national. on a National Pride Day. Come on.
Naughty and MJ, what is the role of IRCA regarding fair broadcasting? How is it that a man is on the talk shows several times in the afternoon, then goes on an evening show night after night, savaging the opposition leader? This person openly confessed on one of your colleagues' show, Howard's to be exact, that he's been a paid PLP consultant, and his name rhymes with dot. Y'all need to stop.
There are rules around broadcast. There are rules around broadcasting, and you'll start to see some of that. So when we get closer into election season, you'll see some small changes.
Call my boy Juan McCartney and I can let him break it down for me. That ain't no problem.
All right.
We'll get an answer to you on that.
Mm-hmm.
MJ, please check the speech of the great Dr. C.R. Walker to the Duke of Windsor about the vast disparity in pay between the American engineers and the Bahamian workers, which helped trigger the Burma Road riot. And that is the same Duke of Windsor that spurred the Blind Blake classic, Love, Love, Love Alone, Cause King ever to lose his throne. Love, Love, Love Alone.
That was the only thing that caused him to lose his throne.
And if you ever look at Wallace Simpson, she was ugly. She was fugly.
She was a convenience.
She was like an original WNBA player before the WNBA.
Accent, could you stop?
She looked like Caitlin Clark. She looked like
seriously, stop. But thank you to all of our smart talking heads out there. I have a pretty good idea about, my original question about Burma Road. Learned so much today. I love it.
There you go.
Thank you guys so much.
But MJ, when you think about it though, those were stories that we had coming up. I mean, what are the stories that we share now? It was almost like when my grandpa, when Pa would tell me about Sahara, I'm going to repeat this. Because you repeat it in the wrong situation.
I know, right?
And you grew up listening to this, and then when you learn about it in school, and you look at it for what it is in the history, it's a great story. And
One of many
was into giving back.
Would love to see, a movie more sourced here. And I'm not saying I haven't seen those American versions. Maybe one of them was a British version, but I want it more sourced here. You know what I mean? With some of the people around who still have stories and stories passed down to them from there. Like you said, your grandfather told you certain things. Well, there are others here whose people told them certain things. I would love a story that's a little bit more authentic. Not saying that those guys didn't pull it together, but I haven't heard of, these things.
Jackster, who said that granddad was a butler for Sari, man, you need to get at me and MJ. We need to hear the rest of them stories.
And that's not only, there's so many other stories too, Would love to hear. We've heard some, stories about Sir Lyndon back in those days, some first-hand accounts, and that would make an awesome story too.
Correct.
Not just him, but everybody else. And like the text said, you need more, you need others like Sir Milo and all. We need more stories.
More stories. And
more. Preserved.
I would like to say the late, great Arthur Hanna, because you would not want me to call him sir, even though he deserved it.
And that in itself is a remarkable story that I think every Bahamian needs to hear.
You have people clamoring for a award entitled these days and backbiting and backstabbing. And I even heard some in the legal fields. You wasn't even on the list, but showed up in your wigs and your gown anyway, and they had to give it. I mean, my God.
Crazy. Just hard to shake those colonial ties, Hard to let it go. Those vestiges.
Naughty, I know you ain't talking about my homegirl, Caitlin Clark. Yes, I am.
Why did you say that name?
And no, I'm not
playing. Mention LeBron.
I ain't playing no Diddy for Independence.
Now you're bringing up Caitlin. No, Diddy's music is...
No.
Yeah.
Taboo.
And it ain't gonna change.
Ain't changing. No stuff.
And we're not gonna have that discussion about art. We just ain't playing no Diddy. Sorry.
No, man. But like I said, you look around and into next week, we got a lot to talk about, though. Like I do say, I do want to readdress this because this is something we need to talk about. 1 in 5 teens attempting suicide, alcohol use among teens at a crisis level. Where are we going, Bahamas? And I know somebody said, man, we had a brewski. Yeah, we might have. But we obviously did it in a lot more, with a lot more resolve that we weren't at crisis levels. It speaks volumes about us as a society, as us as parents. We really need to get on this. And there's drugs and stuff being mentioned that we never heard about growing up over here. Now you're hearing about fentanyl. You're hearing about heroin. You're hearing about,
cocaine.
Crazy. We've been hearing about cocaine and marijuana for years, but now it's fentanyl, heroin. You got the various brands of what I call uppers and downers, those kind of drugs like ecstasy. People dabbling in pharmaceutical drugs. It's like, what's going on? Where are we? I mean, are we evolving, but with all the wrong places? We got to be evolving more positive than we are now. I mean, we got some things evolving that are negative. We need to curb. What about the positive? How are we evolving in a positive light?
These numbers are crazy. So, and like I said, I feel like something like this needs to be ventilated. Trying to, focus a little bit on that today does not mean that this is not a big focus, because this should be a big focus. We don't have a crisis coming, to paraphrase some of, these expressions these days. We have a crisis that is already here. If 1 in 5 teens has attempted suicide, you know what it is as a mom to read a headline like that? You know what it is as a mom of teenagers to read a headline like that? Like our 2 boys, right? If 1 in 5 has attempted suicide, that's 20%, right? But if you have 2 children, now your numbers flip a little bit. It's something like, okay, so it'll be something like, we have a 64% chance that neither of them has attempted, but then there's a 36% chance that at least one of them may have contemplated it. But even though this didn't say contemplate, they said attempted, which is the next step.
Well,
not just the ideation, but actually
I feel
attempting
like
it.
both our sons love themselves enough, and they love themselves, that I don't think that's an option for them. But I'm worried where it is so relevant within their community and their peer group.
And so most parents will think like that.
Correct,
but
correct.
You don't know, because I'm quite, and I...
You don't want to take it for granted. I'm not saying to take it for granted. I was just being facetious. But if you look at the big picture, not only the parents have to keep an eye on it, you have to look at the peer group as well. Because God forbid, if something happens to one of their peer groups, it's going to affect them in a negative way as well, too.
Yeah, and we've had a situation where a lot of their peers have, experienced personal tragedies over the last couple of years. Things changed after the pandemic. Things have been, and that's why I was so enthusiastic for the wellness part of the Ministry of Health and Wellness. But I just don't think that we focused enough on the wellness. I thought it would be, particularly because during the pandemic, there was so much talk about, we need more mental health care. We need to, because we know that people are going through stuff. We come out of that, you have a cost of living that's
out the roof. Crime out the roof. Unemployment out the roof. I mean,
you combine that with more
bills
prevalence of drugs, because I'm going to assume it's more prevalent. It's now where teens can get it.
Check this out.
This talked about alcohol use with teens
check
as well.
This out. Alcohol use among teens, but here's the deal. 3 out of 4 teens who bought alcohol never asked to show ID, report says. So out of the crisis...
75%.
No wonder we have a crisis if 3 out of 4 are not ID'd, and you're just giving them alcohol. Of course it's going to get out of proportion.
Of course there needs to be a crackdown. We were told the other day
now, when you look in the hood, you got a liquor store in every other corner. And let's look who owns all these liquor stores. Let's be honest. We got to break it down. We got to be honest. We got to be for real.
We're told that the liquor stores are too prevalent. We're told that kids can get easy access to it, because if 3 out of 4 can get it, that's what I call easy access illegally.
Correct.
We're told the other day we had someone talking about counterfeit alcohol. It's like just like everything that could go wrong is going wrong in this moment, and it is a crisis, and it's a crisis for our teens. That wasn't the only thing. There were some statistics on drug use.
Correct.
As well, statistics on sexual activity. They
and
talked
STDs.
about that, as well as obesity.
Correct.
So it's another thing. And it's not just, I don't want to put it all in the Ministry of Health, because, of course, we as a community, as society, we have to do our part as well. Parents, but I don't think, you just blame the parents. Parents need help. We got NGOs out there attempting. Are they funded enough? This is why when we talked about the budget and the surplus, I said that I would rather get things done or have a balanced budget even than to say, okay, we got this extra $75 million projected, but what are we doing about kids this summer? It was amazing. I read a story just yesterday happening in the state of Baltimore that I found phenomenal. Now, we all know the kind of reputation that Baltimore has, right? with the crime situation that they have there. Well, apparently their mayor, he's a young man. His name is Brandon Scott. He invested in 42 summer youth camps, 29 literacy
This is a kid in
programs.
Baltimore, right?
Yeah, he's young. He's a very young African-American.
And I mean no disrespect when I say that, but he is a youngster, and I'm proud of what he's
young
done.
guy, African-American. He's the mayor of Baltimore. He invested in 42 summer youth camps, 29 literacy programs. He extended the recreational center hours to 11 p.m. He planned block parties. He opened pools, and he opened several schools for summer classes. Crime in Baltimore, and you know about Baltimore, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's down 62%. And that tells you what investing in community, investing in our kids could do. The whole this headline, and like I said, is not trying to go here today, but maybe we need to go here because it is a crisis.
It
right?
is. We got a phone call. Let's get to that, and then we can jump back into it. Talking Heads.
Hey, Naughty and MJ, sorry to call back. Listen, MJ, you mentioned pools, and I wanted to ask this question. Several years ago, 1 or 2 years ago, I think one of the number guys promised several pools at the public high schools.
I remember hearing about that too.
Correct.
You're right. I don't remember.
Did they ever
I
get
remember.
the pools?
I don't know. We got to see. We got to do our due diligence and follow up and see
don't
which.
know.
That because when Barkersville was talking pools, I said, I know these guys. Say, Government High was supposed to have one, another school was supposed to have one, but then I haven't.
Yeah, we didn't hear the follow up. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, we need to look
I remember.
back on that and do
so
some
much.
follow up because
I remember it's
it
a whole
comes to
big
mind,
thing.
Correct.
All the kids will learn to swim, get these pools. Anyway,
Swimming in
they
the
did that in
schools, all of
Baltimore.
that.
Crime is down 62% because it's all interconnected. What do you think is going to happen if you have a bunch of young people running around, engaging in risky sex, taking drugs, drinking alcohol illegally, and idle as the day is long? What do you think is going to happen? What is that a recipe for?
Disaster.
A crisis, which is what we're in right now.
Man, oh man. So, the more things change, the more they stay the same, though. We look around and we look back, and some of these concerns have just been manifesting over years. Now they've come to a head, and we need to actually deal with them.
Yeah, their emotions are not well. It's just scary. We can't lose a hold. We can't lose a generation to this. So whatever we need to do, and I'm sure the ministry, as well as some of the NGOs out there, I expect the churches as well, to offer more guidance, more help. I don't want to exclude the business community. There's so much more that the business community can do as well. We know we have government. We know we have the NGOs. We know that the business community sometimes does sponsorships, and that's appreciated, but maybe some more hands-on, a little bit of human resources in some of these things that you sponsor would be beneficial, and then do more of it. Invest more,
And looking at politicians as well, too, let's have a little more breakdown as to exactly what you're putting in and using that constituency budget for. Get more activities and programs for kids out there if you know you have at-risk kids in your community. And
I'd like to see more collaboration between the Ministry of Health and well as the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, because, this report came out of Health and Wellness, which is to be expected. But where's the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture? Where are their big announcements about what they've sponsored throughout the summer? We're paying for our son to be in a summer camp because we don't want him idle for the summer, and that's good. But wouldn't it be good if there were more camps? You have so many organizations, from baseball, from basketball, from other sports. You have so many organizations willing to do the work and willing to work with the kids and give them something to do. But sometimes they're, it's, financially prohibitive. But if the government were to invest some of our money, our taxpayer money, into some of these programs as well.
I know that idea. Minister Boleg said that he hired some kids to work through the summer for their youth, summer programs out at the sports center. But what really are you getting with that kind of program? You're getting some things going on, but it's not the in-depth, one-on-one kind of hands-on, because it's so much volume. I think if they had stipends and used it more correctly, it could be more one-on-one. You could start developing the core athletes, the cream of the crop,
And the ministry,
and then do secondary camps for
and the
other
ministry
kids too.
doesn't have to do all of it. You can partner. You
With-
can
with
partner with youth organizations. You can partner with, even when our son goes to camp for the summer. You could have partnered with them.
Shout out to the Lucans and Coach Lee's and
You could
the
have
Lucans
partnered
program. They
with
run
Coach
a
Lee's.
great basketball program out there.
Great program. You could have partnered with Coach Lee's. You could have partnered with others who are also out there doing various things. Maybe some swimming's happening. No, yes, swimming is happening because he's gone to swimming camp before. To partner with others who are doing the work. Divert some of our money, our tax dollars towards that. Not everything has to be government run, but you can partner with these organizations, and then you could get more done. You know?
Many hands make light work. You're always talking about PPP for this and PPP for that. Well,
as for the obesity part of it,
now that's really
we're
scary.
back to this whole bread basket.
Correct.
Because it kind of like it sets this is actually crazy, you know. And I'm glad that VAT on food went down by 5% and is now only 5% on unprepared food. Of course, they've excluded candies and sweet stuff, which is sensible because you don't want to reduce VAT on that and make that even, more
You're going to pay a
tempting.
sugar tax, trust me.
But the thing about it is, if you look at our bread basket, remember there was an idea about it being healthier, eventually having fruits on there, vegetables, things like this that are so expensive. I shouldn't have to pay $11 for strawberries in the food store.
No, sir.
Right? So I don't even get it as often as I want. And I'm sure it's that way for a lot of people. You don't get the healthy stuff because it's just so expensive. So you end up eating, imagine having still in 2025 corned beef on the bread basket items, right? Imagine having corned beef, which is not, we know, yeah, it tastes good, but we know that is not good for you at all. Imagine having corned beef but not having broccoli or food like that that's actually healthy. We're getting a break on these things that are on the bread basket, but, we're going to pay for cheaper calories today, but end up with expensive bills, hospital bills tomorrow.
Got one for you specifically. MJ, do you expect a reduction in the travel budget just to provide safe and productive spaces for children of tax-paying citizens? Question mark.
Thank you
question
so
mark,
much for
question
asking
mark.
that. That is a great place for us to begin cutting the fat. You're absolutely right, because I catch the sarcasm. Yeah. I mean, you're traveling all around the world. There's more political will to go visit all of these places and hobnob
Photo op,
and
Phil.
have these, outrageous subsistence budgets, $150,000, so forth and so on. Then there is political will to make sure that our kids have something productive to do over the summer. We talk about how they're not doing well in education, right? Well, what do you think happens if you're not doing well in education and then you're completely idle all summer long? What do you think happens when they get back there in September? All hopped up on sugar, apparently drugs and alcohol, and just haven't been idle. What do you think is going to happen?
Anarchy reigns. That's what it is. So at the end of the day, we have to look at curbing that by having, like you said, programs in place.
And it's about where we deploy our limited resources, Where do we deploy our limited resources? I want to see Ministry of Health and Wellness, and I know that they are trying. I'm not saying that they're not trying, but I'm saying maybe we need to look around. Maybe we need to, because to be honest with you, if we really, and I said we weren't going to go too deep into this, if we're really being honest, compared to our regional brothers and sisters, a child between the ages of 0 and 9 is more likely to be overweight, 50% more likely to be overweight or obese here in this country than in, say, other countries, than in, say, Barbados, than in, say, Jamaica. So you can't just blame it all on the way we Caribbean people eat. You have to understand that there are other factors at play and other things that others have done to mitigate their problem that we haven't done. Where is that in our policy?
And you mentioned the policy. I think that's a key thing right there. We turn a blind eye to the policy issues and loopholes that need to be closed. Successive governments after successive governments, and they're not closed. And if we made that little, small changes to close those loopholes in policy and legislation, we'd be a lot better for it.
And if the Ministry of Health and Wellness has programs that they think can help, get a little bit louder about it. Spend some of that travel budget money, like the text is talking about, on promoting, on some public relations, so we know what's happening, we know what you're doing, and we as citizens can participate,
But this texter, they really getting you. MJ, we can pay for the great summer programs from the surplus.
Absolutely. You know what it is to say, and this is, let's look at the timing on this. Let's we weren't going to go here today, but let's go. Let's go here. Look at the timing on this. We have no less than the Prime Minister, Deputy Prime Minister, all of the ministers of the cabinet about less than 2 weeks ago stand up, pat themselves on the back, saying we've got a $75 million surplus projected.
Where?
No, they said we have a $75 million surplus projected. Less than a week later or so, right? We have a headline in the paper saying 1 in 5 teens attempted suicide. My God. And then it goes on to talk about
alcohol use among teens at crisis level. And 3 out of 4
use.
teens who bought alcohol never asked to show ID. Well, alcohol is a depressant. If they're already depressed, that's only going to enhance their depression.
Alcohol use, right? In some cases,
Drug
risky sexual activity.
Yes.
Drug use. And these drugs, I mean, I don't want to downplay anything, but really, cocaine, seriously? Teens?
Heroin?
Seriously?
Fentanyl?
Seriously. How long has the Ministry of Health been expecting this particular report? Wouldn't it have been wise to have this report in, go back to the folks over there at Ministry of Finance and say, hey, yeah, we got the projected $75 million, but let's make it a projected $5 million because I'm going to need about $70 million of that to deal with a problem that we have
and we need
right
to fix
here
it.
on the horizon.
But no,
we're going to have to throw some money
our
at this
Minister of Health
problem.
likes to show up with cliches and statements and damage control in advance.
I like you talking about hospitals, but that's after. Their whole approach, this administration's approach to crime, according to a lot of what they've been saying, is they're going to focus more on preventing. But what about this?
What about the moment of the now? What about
Where's
fixing
the money
problem?
for preventative for our kids? They're in crisis mode right now. You did a whole budget, didn't hear anything about this. This is almost as contemptuous as Mr. LaRota standing up talking about how mothers are prostituting their daughters.
But what are you going to do about
We're not
it?
hearing the Minister of National Security then stand up and say, hey, there's been
Here's
an
the solution.
increase in arrests of the Johns that are partaking in these services. We didn't hear the counterweight on that.
No.
Just, these mothers doing this to these daughters. Well, where are the
Because
guys?
that's bad for business.
Where are the men who are buying these services? Where are they getting arrested? You know, we hear 1 in 5 teens. We hear about the drug use.
But no increase in
Where's
arrests,
the
no increase in people coming
arrests of
before the court.
Persons selling or trafficking to children. Where's the counterbalance to these stories? We are in a crisis, but it's not just a crisis of our teens not being able to adapt properly after they went through the trauma of the pandemic, and I insist that has a lot to do with it, even these years later. But we're having a crisis of leadership because you're telling us the problems. You let the budget pass. You didn't get any extra money, not that I'm aware of, or didn't speak on it on your feet in the House to tell us that we have this problem. And here, we're going to throw $70 million at this because we see what's happening and we have to save our kids.
No talking about, but I know
2 weeks,
talking
2
about
weeks
hospital.
later, you come in telling us this?
Yeah.
What you going to do about it?
What you
gonna do about it?
place to remedy the situation and then prevent it moving forward? Nothing.
You must have known that this report was coming. Why are we hearing about it now?
Okay.
Yeah, let me move on. We wasn't supposed to go there.
I got a great mix. My boy DJ Sampler. Big up to Kenny. You know, we did Grand Theft Auto years ago.
Can I say we will deal with this next week?
We'll
Bill?
deal with that
I
Monday
gotta
out the gate.
Get some more information.
Yes, man. I with you on that.
We're dealing with it next week. So if anybody from the Ministry of Health and Wellness wants to chime in or send us some information we may not be privy to that helps us understand what you plan to do, please feel free to do it. We're going to deal with this next week.
But guess what? Taking us home right now, getting us, into National Pride Day and into the weekend, and then obviously into next week, as we lead up to our Bahamian Independence. We got DJ Sampler hitting you up with your Bahamian favorites, all right? Classics and new school and everything.
It's a mix? It's a mashup?
It's a mix,
Okay.
mashup.
Love it,
Keep
love it,
right
love it,
where you
love
got
it,
man.
love it.
So for MJ, for Pearlie, and for Mr. Producer, man, we want you to have a great National Pride Day. For everybody called in, chimed in, man, enjoy yourself, love yourself. Take a day off from all the stress, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Get back at it tomorrow. But just remember, we Bahamians, and it's National Pride Day. National Bahamian Pride Day. So all things Bahamian.
Eat your conch.
Yeah.
Your crab and rice.
And get your Benny cake and your Johnny cake. And your
Get your gully wash.
That's sky.
Wash.
And for Christ's sake, no raisins in your coleslaw. That's an abomination. And we'll talk about that on Monday too again too.
But
some of y'all had hard.
Put the raisins in the potato salad.
No, no, sir. Put the raisins in the ice cream with the rum and make it rum raisin, and now we got a party. All right.
You guys have a great weekend. Enjoy yourselves. Have fun, but most importantly, be safe.
Be safe and be good, Bahamas, and we'll see you on Monday, man. And Sampler, take us to the break. MD's taking us to the break.
Oh, okay.
My late great brethren, MD's
great.
can take us to this break, and on the flip side of the
boy.
break, Sampler going to take us home, man. But yeah, I would be remiss. So, my good friend, I still wish you were here. I miss you dearly. I listen to you often.
Yes, we do.
And D's, like I know, you're looking down, and we proud of you, man. Always remember that, man. Let it run, man. My late great friend, MD's. Let's go.
Knocking at the club until the lights come on, and tell Daddy White bring the gals come on, and freaks in the living room getting it up. We don't want no ice now we cook, just straight rum. Hennessy with cheers, everybody get numb. Girl them a squeal and vice box done.
Hear that? That's not just a crunch. It's the sound of flavor turning up. Introducing the Doritos Kentucky Chicken Sandwich, a delicious combination of KFC's juicy original recipe extra large filet, stacked with real Doritos nacho cheese chips for a loud, cheesy crunch in every bite. It's bold, it's crunchy, and it's only $8.95. Everyone's chasing the crunchy one who missed it. KFC and Doritos, a crunch that's finger-licking good.
How often should you change your oil in your car? Every 3,000 miles or 3 months? Definitely by the time the light come on. A car needs oil just like we all need water. Let Muffler World change your oil and oil filters to help you keep your ride on the road. Regular oil changes will save your car's engine. Stop by Muffler World on Mackey Street or Robinson Road to have your car's oil changed in no time flat. Muffler World on Mackey Street is open on Saturdays 8 to noon.
Fly away with me through the Bahama Keys.
Tired of the hustle and bustle of Nassau? Fly away to the Family Islands with our fly-free offer for Bahamian residents. Stay at any of our hotels for 2 nights and get a round-trip ticket for free. Visit BahamasResidence.com for details.
My Bahama land, yes, my country. Come fly away with me.
In these very difficult times when crime is on the increase, you don't need to waste money on imitation security. Get the best at Wemco Security, the company you keep. Don't delay. Call today or visit their office at 32 Collins Avenue, across from Columbus Primary School.
There's a richness to the Bahamas that you have to taste to understand. Depending on which island you're on, the Bahamas can be a dilly-infused rum or a guava liqueur with hints of pineapple. The Bahamas can also be a soothing herbal blend. At Bahamas Botanicals and Islands and Keys, we know the Bahamas is complex and diverse, so we couldn't fit it all in just one bottle. Visit any Bristol Wines and Spirits location and enjoy the taste of the archipelago. From cascarilla to coconut and everything in between, Bahamas Botanicals. Keep close to your roots. Please drink responsibly, 18 and over.
He is the king of crunch, the master of flavor, and he's going to set your taste buds on fire with the new King Crunch sandwiches at Burger King Nassau. Crispy fried onions, pepper jack cheese, and bold chipotle sauce. Plus, fixins cover a crispy chicken patty or 2 flame grilled beef patties on BK's new King Crunch sandwiches that are bigger, better, and bolder than anything around. And they're only available at Burger King Nassau. Try one today.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances, so come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
Looking for tech solutions without the hassle? Since 1941, the Armory Company has been the Bahamas' trusted tech partner. From access control and cloud video surveillance to smart home setups and laptop repairs, we handle it all. Need a repair? We've got you covered, no matter where you bought it. Can't find what you need? Call us at 397-1600 for a custom solution. Visit us behind Wendy's on Mackey Street with delivery to all Family Islands. The Armory Company, where your tech problems meet their match.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Learn more at cancercenter.com.
Feel the forest without leaving the living room. For over 70 years, Airwick has been connecting people to nature, one breath at a time. Infused with 100% natural essential oils, our fragrances are crafted to capture the beauty of the great outdoors. So whether you're feeling floral, citrusy, or just a little woodsy, Airwick brings nature home to you. Available now at Kelly's, Lowe's Pharmacy, and your favorite local store. Airwick, it's not just a scent, it's a nature moment.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty and Mary Jane. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
DJ Sampler.
Did you see Uncle Lou when it fall in the well? Did you see Uncle Lou when it fall in the well? I said he fell so deep that he went straight to hell. The devil and his angels start ringing the bell. My mama told me 3 years ago I mustn't marry no lazy gal. Said no lazy gal, no lazy gal. No lazy gal. I said no lazy gal, no lazy gal. No lazy gal. My mama told me 3 years ago I mustn't marry no ugly gal. Said no ugly gal, no ugly gal. I said no ugly gal, no ugly gal. Blue Hill water dry, nowhere to wash my clothes. I remember one Saturday night we had fried fish and Johnny cake. 1, 2, 3, 4, punch it. And an old gal don't do that thing. I said 1, 2, 3, 4, punch it. And an old gal don't do that thing. Did you see Uncle Lou when he fall in the well? Did you see Uncle Lou when he fall in the well? I said he fell so deep that he went straight to hell. Did you see Uncle Lou when he fall in the well? Blue Hill water dry, nowhere to wash my clothes. I remember one Saturday night we had fried fish and Johnny cake. Come on now. R-A-T-D-L-E S-N-A-K stuff for rappers. Hold on. R-A-T-D-L-E
DJ Sampler.
stuff for rappers. My name. Turn around, girl. Sing it out. My name is everybody. Whoa. Penny sausage, yeah. Mr. Walker selling there. There goes Mr. Walker. Take my penny sausage and push it right in. Walker selling, yeah. I can take my penny sausage and push it right in. If you touch that thing, your mama gonna know. If you touch that thing, your mama gonna know. Lord, if you touch that thing, your mama gonna know. How she gonna know? belly gonna show. One more time now. If you touch that thing, your mama gonna know. Lord, if you touch that thing, your mama gonna know. Touch that thing, your mama gonna know. How she gonna know? Your belly gonna show. Brown skin gal, go home and mind your baby. Brown skin gal, go home and mind your baby. Daddy's gone away on a sailing boat, and if it don't come back, stay home and mind your baby. How you gonna wheel and turn me? How you gonna wheel and turn me? You make me wanna fall down. You make me wanna fall down. How you gonna wheel and turn me? How you gonna wheel and turn me? Make me wanna fall down. Take my belly.
DJ Sampler.
What we gonna do right here is go back. Way back. Back into time.
Your beautiful sand. Oh, Cat Island, you are the highest, oh, in all the land. Going back to Cat Island, visit Dumfries Hill, where old folks smoke their pipes and dance the drill. If you want to go along, so you could see how them people live so peacefully. Oh la le, la la, oh la le, la le, la la, oh la le, la la, oh la le, la le, la la, oh oh Cat Island, your rolling hills, oh your beautiful sand. The highest, oh, in all the land. They got a rake and scrape band, keep you on the go. They just call themselves Lassie Do. One play the concertina, one beat the goatskin drum, one make the guitar talk, while one rake the saw. Oh la le, la la, oh la le, la le, la la, oh la. Beautiful sand. Oh, Cat Island, you are the highest, oh, in all the land. The oldest gospel group in the land, they sing so well. They answer to the name of the region bell. From Orange Creek to Devil's Point.
DJ Sampler.
Nice, you want to meet them twice. Oh la le, la la, oh la le, la la, la.
What we gonna do right here is go back. Way back. Back into time.
DJ Sampler.
Way out west, there lives this dame. She'll put any dancer oh to shame. If you want to watch a dance, want to watch a prance, get her in a circle, watch that lady dance. She got a west end move, she got a west end groove, she got a west end move, she got a west end groove. She say, come here, let me show you how we just go. Cause when you come to West End, you might meet old Joe. Now here is a story about this man, so you would better understand. You see, up in the bite, that's where them people are so nice. There once was a boy, he never had many toys, but oh, he could dance, oh, he could prance. Get him in a circle, watch that old boy dance. He got a western move, he got a western groove, he got a western move, he got a western groove. She say he got a certain way when he hold he head. He just put a hump in his back, then he jump back like Jack. If you up at Rainey's place, he'll be on your case. That's where they all dance around. When the sun goes down, they got a western move, they got a western groove, they got a western move. Up there they got a western groove. She say, come back, let me show you how it really go. So when you come to West End, you would know. Wind your waist over here, wind it over there. Come back in the center, move like you don't care. You'll have a Western move.
DJ Sampler, 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 Sampler.
The Spanish was the ship, Bonancy was the captain, Lucky was the mate, he was always late. Tatman on the port, once he knocked him out, oh Lord, she shout, Bonancy shore out. Andros Island is big and long, whatever goes there, they make you strong. The cats and the dogs, and even bullfrogs, eating crab. Yes, man. Let me sing. Oh, come on now. Let man. Stop 111.